Y'all, one time I did a pretend imaginary surveillance with the actual intended subject of my investigation. Y'all, try to keep up, okay? So my client wants me to do surveillance on his wife. He's going out of town on a work trip. I go do the surveillance in an area that's like kind of impossible to do surveillance sitting on the street. So sometimes I have to knock on a neighbor's door and ask them if I can use their driveway. And usually I just say like, hey, I'm an investigator. I'm looking for a stolen car, whatever. I'll make something up. I'll show them my credentials. People want to be helpful. So they're like, yeah, of course, whatever you need. So I go do surveillance on the wife and I knock on a neighbor's door to ask if I can sit in their driveway. This woman answers, but as soon as she answered the door, I was like, oh crap. I recognize her as my client's wife, the one I'm supposed to be doing surveillance on. I've already spilled the freaking beans. I inverted the numbers on the address, knocked on the door of the reversed address. I'm supposed to be doing surveillance on the woman that I just told I'm a PI. I gotta think quick. And like, once you tell a lie, you gotta stick with it. So now the subject of my investigation thinks that I'm doing surveillance a house down the street that I thought was her. She decides to tell me that she knows a ton of people in the neighborhood. She starts spilling the beans on the neighbors. Remember Bertha from the BMX biker guy? Now I have to sit to do surveillance on her, pretending to do surveillance on someone else. The surveillance gods were on my side. Let me tell you why. She comes out to the passenger side of my car. I roll down the window. She's just chatting up a storm. She's spilling her guts about any and every damn thing. I decide I'm gonna take advantage of it. We're gonna become best friends. As she's standing there chatting with me, this guy pulls up in a truck. He comes over to her, says, hey baby, slaps her on the butt. She gives him a kiss. And I'm like, dude, my subject doing an imaginary surveillance with me is doing the thing with her side piece with me right there. She's telling him, this girl, I just met her. She's really cool. She's a PI and she's doing surveillance. As she's talking to him and they've got their arms around each other, I pretend to be on my phone and I get video of them. Sit right by the car. Well, anyways, he walks over to me, introduces himself, says, yeah, hi, I'm her husband. Dude, no, you're not. The husband paid me to find out who you are. The husband don't know nothing about this guy. I'm already here. I done spilled the beans that I'm on a surveillance. Can't change my story now. So I continued to use it. By this time, I built a rapport. This lady trusts me. I start asking her about her relationship with her husband. She tells me how they've been together for the last year and a half, which my client said for the last 3 months, she's been acting funny. This poor fellow obviously has no idea that she's been with this guy a lot longer. Anyways, now all three of us are doing an imaginary surveillance in what was supposed to be her house, but I'm an idiot and got the numbers mixed up like a dumb. So here's the kicker. They start telling me about these trips they've taken together. I get my phone and I'm looking up the notes that I had taken about what the husband said. He was talking about her work trips. One of her company cruises was her anniversary cruise with this fella. Anyways, y'all, I sat there for 2 hours. They spilled all the beans on themselves. I don't know if I made a mistake or if it was destiny, but I got my client some answers from the source herself. Y'all, the guy is his brother's best friend. Apparently, my client had a lot of money. He was supporting her with everything. Turns out she was using her money to take homeboy on trips. He thought he was paying expenses for work trips. He was paying for their little romantic getaways. He kicked her out of the house. He said the information I got was better than any surveillance could have gotten. He's right.